How you feeling over there?
Philip, I feel 10,000 times better because Hank is here. I don't know if you spotted Hank.
I heard Hank. Hank the Tank over there?
I've enlisted our pal JJ here to be on Hank Cam. We'll see if JJ's going to do it or not, but maybe. JJ's taking pictures. But we're going to throw it here to Hank Cam.
Hank Cam. Oh, yeah, there he is. Look at Hank. Oh.
Hank the Tank, as Steven just called him.
What a good boy.
So
being such a good boy.
We're scheduled to have a few-minute break here, but I'm kind of in favor of Hank Cam.
Let me have this moment.
Oh, and Steven's here too. I mean, yeah, you can take it off. Go ahead.
I just didn't want to.
I did not. All right, let's get the camera back on me here. So I got to run over and say hi to, oh, look at this. Look at this. So, Steven, you want to grab some bonus time? You want to come on the mic and you can kind of narrate over? Yeah, come on. We'll give you some extra few minutes here.
We're going to need you to move your entire set over here.
Steven Martinez, he's the executive director of the York County SPCA, is here. You see him walking around. We're going to get him mic'd up here in a moment. I mean, why do you even need to see me here? You got Hank Cam going on. So we've got the SPCA coming up in the 3 p.m. hour. It is 2:53 right now if you're watching live, but I mean, Steven, my mom is commenting saying he's beautiful.
Oh, good.
And I think she means. I was going to say, I think she means Hank.
What do I do here?
So we're going to get Steven plugged in here.
Just be careful. I don't want him to.
There's Hank. The fun part is, as soon as Philip gets plugged back in, I'm going to run over and pet Hank.
For audio levels for me and for Steven.
Yeah, you're good.
What's going on?
Hank Butt Cam.
Where would be the best place for him?
He's good there because we can get B-roll of him.
Yeah,
wherever he wants to be.
JJ's going to just chase him around wherever you go. So, I mean, if you need to sit back over on the couch, you can totally do that.
Oh, okay. You can cut back and forth.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Chris is a seasoned live stream professional.
Gotcha. You can take them over by the couch.
Do you want to go over here?
I guess we could show Steven.
They can go over
That
the
looks
couch.
great.
There he
We
is.
can show Steven. How's it going?
Hey, how's it going? I'm good. Another year, guys. Can you believe, Chris, do you even recognize York County with not rain?
No, I do not.
This is what it looks like. We do have sky and grass and visibility.
Yeah, Diamond Doug was bragging about the home opener tonight, and I instinctively was like, "You mean the doubleheader on Saturday, right?" Like,
Right.
yeah, it's absolutely fantastic out there. And Steven, it's great to have you back. We saw you were here this morning, I believe, with Fox.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, they pulled us right in and they said, we need Hank on the screen right now. And I'm like, cool, but I'm coming with them. I'm going to talk about the York County SPCA while we're at it.
We are so glad to have you back, man. Thank you for being here. I know this is always a huge highlight for Philip and myself as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, Steven is great. But it's because he always brings good friends for us to hang out with.
We bring the big guys today. So we got an 80-pound love bug over there. He's 10 years old. He came to us back in the fall. He had a lot of skin issues. So we spent quite a bit of money getting him back on track in terms of his health. So we had to give him medicated baths. So we still do that three times a week. He has to get special treats. We can't just feed him any treats.
Yeah.
He has to have special skin-friendly treats.
Look at him.
That's the official medical term.
Skin friendly?
Skin-friendly is what we're calling it these days. And then he has, what else does he have? He just had a little bit of skin issue, but now we got that under control. And he is now available for adoption.
So Hank is now available for adoption.
He is available for adoption.
Hank.
He just needs a little bit of special food because of his skin irritations and maybe special treats for the rest of his life, but no big deal there. He's still a great guy. He He loves to hang out upside down and get his belly rubbed.
Yeah, he just seems to be very chill and hanging out. So while we stay on Hank Cam, obviously people are familiar with York County SPCA.
Uh-huh.
You guys have participated in Give Local every year.
That's right.
You have a $75,000 goal, 40,960. You're over halfway there.
Okay, that's good.
367 donors, 374 gifts. How's it feel, man? Give Local York 2023.
Well, the first word that comes to mind is gratitude. I just feel very fortunate to be a part of this kind of a community that shows up and supports all the nonprofit organizations in the community, including the York County SPCA. So I think we're really fortunate to be in this community that's very charitable and supportive of the nonprofits.
Now, I know a couple weeks ago you guys had an open house, right?
That's right.
So
Yes.
tell, I do
Keep
research.
track. That's
I,
I'm
I
impressed.
pay attention to things.
Okay, all right.
Tell us all about that, though, because
Okay.
I know that the open house, obviously, not just to welcome people into an old space, right? It's a reinvigorated SPCA.
It is. So a couple reasons why we wanted to do that renovation. The first one is that the way that we did sheltering back in 2006, when the building was originally built, that new one, is not the way that we do sheltering today. So we needed to modify the building to emulate the best practices that we've since moved towards. And it's interesting to think about how like layout and design and construction can actually impact our ability to serve our mission. So we just needed to kind of do that update. We also wanted to make a more welcoming, friendly environment. Sometimes people think that an animal shelter can be a sad place to come. We know that that's not true. And so we wanted the space to be more welcoming and inviting just to get people in. But the most exciting information that we put out that kind of coincided with our renovation is that we increased our save rate to 95%, and we made that announcement just a few weeks ago.
So talk about that, because that save rate is well above any sort of averages that are across the country. So one, what does that mean exactly? And two, how has the York County SPCA made that happen?
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to talk about it. We're really proud of our work over the last 3.5 years. So save rate is a simple calculation to make. It says that of all the animals that come in alive in a given year, in that same year, how many have a live outcome? So an example of a live outcome would be adoption, just like somebody's going to adopt Hank after this segment, right?
100%.
Another example would be we reunite a lost pet with its owner, right? So those are live outcomes. So save rate is of all the animals that come in alive in a given year, how many have a live outcome? You divide that number, you get a percentage, that's your save rate. So when we started this work back in about 3.5 years ago, our save rate was 53%.
Wow.
That's a hard number to think about. And that means that about half the animals that came in alive in 2018 did not have a live outcome. So we worked really hard, created a 3-year strategic plan, and 3 years later we increased that save rate to 95%. National average is around 80, so we're well above it. To be considered a no-kill animal shelter, you just have to have a 90% or better save rate.
Wow.
So we would be classified as a no-kill animal shelter. We're at 95%. So the goal is just always to be 90% or better every year consistently. And that's what we're trying to figure out over the next 3 years is can we do it again year after year consistently?
That is really, truly, that is spectacular. And it's great. My parents actually live about 3 miles from the new SPCA, right?
Which is old school York people think of it still, even though 2006 is the new one, because the original one was the Thomasville location.
Which
where Pappas House is at now.
I had a conversation with somebody about native Yorkers, and I said I'm not from York. I think that some of them have adopted me at this point, but that is my favorite characteristic. It's either what something used to be, or they remember it how it was.
Absolutely.
So they of course remember when that was a field behind a gas station. But
we'll have to be in this location for about 150 years, and then it'll be considered the real location.
But I do think, it's a real testament to the York County.
Hank has lost interest in this conversation.
By the way, he's done with this.
It's always Chris.
I think Chris has to. Yeah. Chris is on Hank's level now. There we go. What's kind of cool to think about is like when I first started this work, animals like Hank, we weren't exactly equipped to take care of them at the level that we are today. And the reason why we're able to provide that level of care for every single animal that enters our building is because of our community and our supporters. So Give Local York is an important event to us. It allows us to provide that level of care for animals like Hank. Hank is just an example of the thousands of animals that we provide medical support to every year.
And that is I will say culture change. That's moving the Titanic, right? I mean, you've done an excellent job, and to know that this is really just the start, right? This is year one of that. So
I think so. Yeah, it is kind of neat to think about year one of a 90% kind of save rate shelter.
Yeah.
And it is culture change, I would say.
Yeah. Well, and not obviously not even with the organization. It's just a culture change in York County, and you guys are sort of at the.
And they embrace change, right? I mean, to have a leading animal resource center, you have to do progressive things, new things, and in some communities I see my colleagues in other communities get a lot of resistance.
Yeah.
But in York County, they showed up, they supported us, they financially were there for us. They didn't run us out of town from a political perspective. It was they were open-minded to seeing what we could do, and as a result, we're able to give our community a leading animal resource center.
Well, and while Hank, you've raised $3,000 while Hank has been on.
Hank's a moneymaker. So, there we go. Let's just go ahead and keep him on.
Well, so
his tail just started wagging when you heard that.
Good job, Hank.
Oh my goodness gracious!
But yeah, so the York County SPCA with a $75,000 goal, you guys are at $43,000.
That's awesome.
$40. Yeah. 372 donors, 379 gifts.
So PG, here's what we're gonna do, because I know this is exactly what you were hoping I would say. I'm gonna grab the mic for a second. I'm gonna let you take your mic off and go say hi to Hank, because I know that's all you wanted all day long.
And the one thing that I thought was really cool about this year is we're focusing on number of donors, right? Like I think that's a really cool goal that we're focusing on this year. And we're really prioritizing that as at the York County SPCA. It's not, the value isn't necessarily how much somebody can give, it's the fact that they give. And that matters a lot to us as nonprofit leaders, because it's an indication that you see us and you value our mission and the work that we're doing.
Do you have a specific number of donors that you're trying to chase down today?
Well, last year we got to 500 individual donors, which we were like so thrilled about. It just shows that people, believe in the work and value the work that we're doing. We'd love to get above 500 this year. So, I think we're like over 300 now. So we'd love to get over 500, maybe 600 would be super exciting. So that's kind of our stretch goal.
Yeah, this year after year, I mean, I don't have to say anything here. You guys can see just how wonderful a mission this is. Stephen, I'd love to maybe see, you've got a couple team members here too.
Yeah, they're fantastic
I don't know
people.
If they'd like to come up and say hi also.
I'll introduce them. You can see them right there from the ground, right?
Yeah, there they are.
Okay, so on the left there is Rachel. Rachel is our storyteller. So we have all these incredible stories that come through the shelter every single day, and her job is to capture those beautiful images and then share their story with our community. So Rachel is an incredible storyteller. And then Allie is our volunteer coordinator. So, we have hundreds of volunteers that Allie has to support each and every day, and it's because of our volunteers that we're able to accomplish the kind of work and impact that we can. So Allie is just supporting our volunteers and many other events that we do throughout the year.
Yeah, you talk about the donors today. Those volunteer hours are also just so incredibly important to what you're doing.
Yeah, I'll give you an example, just a simple one. So let's say we have like 90 kennels in our main kennel area. And those dogs get walked twice a day, about 15 minutes per average per walk. So you think about that takes an army of volunteers in order to get those animals out at least twice a day if it's that many animals. I mean, they gave over about 20,000 hours of service last year, which is the equivalent of 8 full-time employees. I mean, there's no way my budget could support, an additional 8 full-time employees. So it's an argument that says that we couldn't do this important work without the love and support of our volunteers.
You want to drop the contact information real quick? Phone number, email, what's the best way someone wants to become a volunteer?
The only thing people need to know other than donate to Give Local York is the York County SPCA website, which is ycspca.org. That's ycspca.org. And you can find everything on our website.
$44,390.
Is that right? Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, our community is amazing. And you know what? It's other nonprofits supporting other nonprofits too. I mean, I walked past every nonprofit that I walked past coming up here today they're all friends of ours. Yeah, so it's a real connected community.
All right, well, Stephen, we're going to stay on Hank Cam here. And I'm going to talk about, we're so close to $2.8 million.
That's fantastic.
Thanks, man. Thanks for your time.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, of course. All right, guys, I am live from Hank showing his belly.
This is good. We got to keep it PG-13, right?
Hank is ready.
Paint me like one of your French girls.
I am live from Wellspan Park in downtown York, home of the York Revolution, where it is opening day. Maybe after we're done Hank Cam, we can look at our York Revolution. They're warming up on the field behind me. Chris is down with Hank soliciting those donations for the York County SPCA. If you missed Stephen from the York County SPCA, this is Hank. Hank is a 10-year-old love bug. They affectionately call him a hippo.
Yes. He opens doors with his head.
That's amazing. So coming up, we've got Dream Rights Center for Community Arts. In just a second.
We do. We have to cut Hank Cam.
Yeah, we have to cut Hank Cam.
Let's give a quick shout out to JJ Sheffer too for playing Hank Cam photographer
really
there.
Excellent work there, JJ.
Toughest job in the world there for sure.
And then just the microphone. You don't need the headset though. There should be a
We'll be right back in 30 seconds.
30 seconds. Just one? There's one.